everyone, welcome to reading class. We are going to take a look at the next section of Maybe. Couple things. First of all and foremost, 3rd and 4th grade, please watch these videos. I know they might not be the most exciting thing and we'd much rather be in school together than this, but this is my way of providing instruction to you. Please don't just be like, whatever, I'm just gonna do my own thing. If you do your own thing, you're probably gonna get a lot of answers incorrect and you're not gonna learn. So watch the videos and follow the directions and you will do a great job on your work and your learning will continue. Because I'm starting to see in some of the work, some people seem like they're not really watching the videos or they're getting things wrong. We need to not do that. When I provide you a video to watch, it's not a suggestion, it's one of those where I'm saying you need to do this, and then do the assignment, okay? So hopefully we have that established. Now, and when you're watching the videos, pay attention to the directions, okay? So what we're looking at here, I am gonna work through 82 to 97 with you. And listen to me right now, you are supposed to do 98 through 110. When you get done with this assignment, you're gonna have 3 things. You are gonna have an entry for this, an entry for this, and the vocabulary activity, okay? Please follow the directions. I know that we're starting to get into a routine here with everything, and that's fantastic, but you need to pay attention to details because I am not here personally to show you what to do. So you need to really pay attention to these videos, okay? Awesome. All right, last time you read up to page 82. And when we were taking a look in our book, at this point, it seems like May is realizing that the Oblingers are not coming back. And she obviously is very scared because she's wondering what is she going to do. And she's also nervous because she can't contact her dad. It's not like she has a cell phone and she can text him and be like, hey dad, they've been gone for 4 days, come pick me up. She can't do that. So she is obviously panicking a little bit right now. And as you can see in the section before, I think at one point she just opens the door and just runs. And she's trying to, she's just letting off some steam, like, what am I gonna do? And she cries and she's getting upset, which is understandable because she feels stuck. Like she doesn't know where to go, what to do. And it's not like she can talk to anybody about this. So she is stuck in the house by herself with nobody. But she does take advantage of that, as you can see in the beginning of part 2. If you have your books, which you should have with you, your book, your reading journal, and a pencil, you should open up your book to page 78 and 79. And that's something I want to discuss with you. She is going over her reader, basically like her book, her things that she has to read for her class. Now, if you remember from the past, her mom said that she has a tendency to fall behind. Now, and sometimes in books, they will give you evidence of different things. They'll tell you different things that are happening, but they won't exactly say what's happening. You have to infer. Infer means you have to use what you know and what the book is telling you to come to a conclusion or a realization or a thought, okay? So if you look at 78 and 79, you notice that she's having trouble reading. Like she says, I have been informed. I have been informed. So now she flips the R and the O, and then she realizes it says informed. And now if you notice, the words are going to be in different spots. And it seems like she's trying to figure out where the words go. She can read the words, she understands the letters and the letter sounds, but it's like she's flipping things, word order, letters. And so she has a reading problem. And back then, it's not like you could be like, well, let's have her get some testing and see if we can figure this out. It was just like, well, she's just slow, she can't figure it out. So she does have dyslexia. Dyslexia is where you can read and you can do things, but you tend to flip letters or flip words, and your brain has to work a little bit harder to get things in the right order. Now, back then they didn't even have this term. They didn't know what it was. There was no way of identifying it. It was just, well, you're just slow. Well, now we can actually identify these things, and then there are different things you can do to work with that. People have, many people have this, along with everyone else's other things too. But this is her issue, is she has this reading issue. And so she, if you take a look at this, on 79 and 80, especially on 80, I must be stupid, which is very sad for her to think. Because it's not the fact that she is not smart. She is smart. She's a very smart girl. But there's something in her brain that is not enabling her to see the words right away how they are. They're flipped. So what she has to do is work harder to unflip them and get them in the right order. So that is her problem. Not really her problem, that's just something that she's got to overcome. And she's going to have to figure out on her own right now, obviously, because she's stuck in this house. Okay? So this is pretty much where we left her. And she also realized too that, hey, I don't have to do anything. No one's here to tell me what to do. But then on 81, it is morning, there's no water, no fuel. It was foolish to waste time last night. So she's just like, well, I should have gotten the right supplies and gotten them ready rather than just spending time trying to read. Well, that was not a waste of time, but she probably should have gotten supplies too. So now she's got to learn, how do I function like this, where I don't have people telling me what to do, and I have to try and do things on my own. It's kind of like, you can actually parallel this with the e-learning that we're doing right now, right? I am not in your living room. I'm not telling you what to do. You can't physically see me because we're all separated. However, you are given tools like devices and lessons like this. So now you have to figure it out with, of course, if your parents are there to help you, that's wonderful. But for the most part, it's up to you. So what is your new normal? What is her new normal? How is she going to figure this out? It's the same way where you figure it out. And we're going to find that out today. So please write down in your reading journal, maybe pages 82 to 97. I am putting this here to remind you that you are going to do this after this entry. So my prediction is, maybe we'll learn how to take care of herself. She's going to have to. She doesn't have much of a choice. So please follow along on pages 82 to 97. A sack of buffalo chips next to the stove, water from the stream, coffee in the pot. I cannot let myself think. Just do chores, May. Keep moving. Go pick some corn. Maybe I could try to finish the floor Mr. Oblinger left undone. There are only a few boards missing. I bang at the boards, not sure exactly where to place each piece, but figuring with so few to go, the planks will show me where they belong. Maybe Mr. Oblinger will want to fix these boards to his liking someday. I stop myself. He's never coming back. I'm afraid in the dark, all alone. I am afraid. It started small. Hiram's church-going shirt left untucked. My dirty hands at supper time. Then we got bold. Sneaked a piece of cooling pie, waded deeper in the stream than Pa allowed. Somehow, Hiram rarely got caught in trouble. That smile of his softened Ma. Pa, grateful for extra hands, overlooked the times Hiram forgot to milk, misplaced the saw, dropped his boot in the creek. I thought of something he wouldn't dare do. Get Ma's scissors and meet me out back. It was just the two of us behind the soddy, but I leaned in close. Cut some of my hair. He narrowed his eyes. Why do I want to do that? Afraid Ma will notice, I sang. Worried Pa will tell you to wait for him in the barn. You daring me? He asked. I am, I said. That was enough to stir him, and when he grabbed at a braid and the scissors snapped, I scooped it up. A 4-inch rope of brown hair, swishing it under his nose. I told him, you're gonna get it tonight. The smile of his lit up his face. Don't I know it? I swatted at him with the braid, yelling, I'm showing Ma, and ran. Now you're probably like, is Hiram there right now? Like, what happened? So what's gonna happen as we're reading this is things are gonna happen currently, like in the present, like where she is by herself, and then she's gonna think back to the past, like a flashback. You know, when we would read the I Survive books, they always start with that. They start with what's happening now, and then the whole rest of the book is basically a flashback leading up. So this is a flashback. She's thinking about when she dared her brother Hiram to cut her hair. And one of the reasons why she did it is because she wanted to get him in trouble, because according to her, he never gets in trouble. Page 87. It is not strange to wear the same dress from day to day, but to awake still clothed and not notice until the coffee is made. I hope Mrs. Oblinger fell off that horse and is still wandering the prairie. Mr. Oblinger better be dead. Oof. Pa deserves the mess he's made, sending me here. His only daughter, abandoned by strangers, forgotten by family, left behind by classmates, ignored by teacher. Nobody cares about me. I hate this place. Today, if it takes forever, I will see the place where the earth touches sky. I will find it. I will track it down. I will not sit here and wait for nobody to come, for nothing to happen. Have Hiram and I been wasting time on a foolish game? Today, I will learn the truth. Over my shoulder, I check for the sadi. 1 time, 2 times, 3. Why did I think I'd be brave enough to set out on my own? How did Hiram and I get this idea anyway? The earth is round, Miss Sanders told us. She brought that globe to school. Let us pass it around. If stories were true, I'd follow a breadcrumb path all the way home. But I have no heart for fairy tales anymore. So what she was doing at that point is obviously feeling sorry for herself. She's obviously very angry about her dad. She's angry about her brother. And now she figures, if I just leave. Her and Hiram have a thing or an idea where they want to see where the earth touches the sky. And she thinks if she runs far enough, she's going to find it. Is she going to find that? No. So she leaves, and then she comes back and realizes, I can't do this. I return to the sadi, gather pebbles at the creek, and line them up. A family of smooth stones, one by one. I heave them into the water, harder and harder still, until I'm wet and hoarse from yelling, and done with childish dreams. I have decided there is no need to iron my dresses or the linens and my hair. I don't have to pull it back in a braid. My coffee doesn't need to be hot. Who will notice? I think it might be September, if I've counted right. So you understand why she's panicking. If it's September, October, November, December, he's not getting her until Christmas. So that would be 3 months, over 3 months, by herself. Some days I sit at the creek, the sun on my back, collecting pill bugs from under rocks. They curl into a ball at the slightest touch, then waiting unfold themselves to continue their journey. This time on my wrist, my thumb, the frayed cuff of my dress. I hold them, watch them rush, wonder what sort of task could hurry such a creature along. I lie in the sunshine, thankful for the freshness of the grass, the babbling company of the stream. Some days I sit in the rocker, the quilt about me though it's hot outside. I shun the sunlight. Groan to think of the water I must fetch, the steps I'll have to take, the work that's needed just to exist. Wouldn't it be better to forget to care? Wouldn't it be easier to stay in the hazy place where dreams come to simply just fade away? I crouch under the table, listening to the rain drip on the supper dishes I left out, in my rush to stay dry. My thoughts drift back to teacher. I can't let them happen here under the table, where there's no task to keep me busy. The bedding is wet. I try to find a way to sleep that allows for comfort, but I can't. My memories catch up with me. I wonder what teacher had to say when I didn't return to school. The girls finally got some sense staying home. Maybe I was only smart before teacher came. It's because you won't try. Teacher, I've tried more than you will ever know, out in the barn with my book and my voice shaking. The words on paper don't match the sounds I make. I have to memorize to even try to read aloud. So if you think I can't read, teacher, then maybe you're right. So let's take a look at that. So obviously she's upset. So it seems like by keeping busy, she's not thinking so much about everything. And one of the things that it seems like the things that she focuses on are home and school. And it doesn't seem like school is a good experience for her. It seems like she wants to do well, but she doesn't know how to manage her reading issues, right? She's not sure. And there's no one there really that's going to help her. And it doesn't seem like the teacher is trying. It seems like the teacher is very negative. So she's looking at that like, ugh, this is not good. So let's take a look at what we know so far. So what we're going to do is let's work with our reading strategies that we have. So we're going to summarize. And remember, we need 3 sentences here. 3, okay? So we'll say, I'd say May realizes the Oblingers aren't coming back. Now, do we know that for sure? Well, at this point, they're not, but they might be later. We don't know yet. So, May realizes the Oblingers aren't coming back. She has trouble with reading. And I guess something else is, May realize the Oblingers aren't coming back. She has trouble with reading. She thinks about Hiram. And remember, Hiram is her brother. And at one point, she's like, oh, they don't care. I hope bad things happen. And maybe that's an easy reaction. If something bad is happening to you, you wish it on someone else, but I don't think it's going to help her at all, right? So it seems like it's good that she's trying to stay busy and do things. And that's what's the benefit of this, of doing homework and things like that during this whole coronavirus time. Stay busy. Stay focused on what you need to do, okay? And then you'll have time to do those other things, but focus on this. Focus on what's important. And that's what she's doing. She's trying to stay alive, keep the house going, the food, water, all that stuff that she needs. So then we do a connection. And I know my personal connection is I like to stay busy like May. Helps the day go by way faster, that's for sure. I like to stay busy like May. And then I'm looking here, evaluate. My thing is, I like how May continues to try hard on reading, even though people tell her she's not good at it. Because I think in her, she realizes that she wants to be a teacher. She wants to do well. And honestly, she would make an incredible teacher because she is someone who can understand if someone is having difficulties with something. She gets it because she's living it. So I like, I think it is good that May keeps working or practicing reading. This is not something that will make her not read. It's just going to make it harder for her. So she's got to work like twice as hard as someone else. And that's her thing that she needs to deal with. And so she's trying to figure out how to do that on her own right now. And then we have question. My thing is, will May be okay for, and now she's saying it's in the book, it's probably September. So September, October, November, December. It's like for 4 months alone. That's it's a long time. And then for visualize, I think what I'm going to do is just, I know one of the things I thought that she was saying that she liked was like the brook. So I'm going to draw her just kind of laying there looking up. This is the ground. So this is May laying on the ground and she's listening to the brook and she's looking up and she's glad that there's like the sky and the sun. So there's like familiarity there. Okay? So this is what's going on at this point. Please make sure that you continue. You do pages 98 through 110. You're going to do this exact same thing, but you're going to do the same strategies, but you're going to do obviously different sentences because it's for a different section, okay? Now, in addition to that, in your packet, you have a vocabulary activity, this one, okay? So you're going to have your vocabulary activity as well. I am going to erase this now because if you need to look at this again, just look back at the video and it'll have that on there, okay? So you have your vocabulary activity, and it's the one that says vocabulary activity 417 2020 or 20, and that is what it is for today. This is very similar to what you had on Tuesday. The only difference is you have an additional column, okay? So we're gonna go through the first one, and then I'm gonna have you do the rest. So we have here swatted, and I put down the page number, which is page 68. That is your word. And then the first column is a definition, a synonym, a word that means the same, an antonym, and then a picture, okay? So we have here, and I'll just write this down so you can see, and we're all on the same, oops, no, that's the definition. I will do just a simplified version because you got everything in front of you. Okay, so we have swatted, and that's on page 68. So we're gonna, oh, sorry, not on page 68, 86. Hey, guess what I just did? I flipped the numbers. Huh? That's just like maybe did. But she was flipping the letters. Anybody remember what that was? Dyslexia. Okay, so I did that on purpose. I'm just kidding, I didn't. But it just worked out great, right? So that is an example of flipping it. Because I said 68 and it's actually 86. So imagine trying to read and your letters are always switching. And how hard that would be. And that's what she has to do every single time she reads, is try to take longer to figure it out. All right, 86. Okay, so let's look at 86. I look at the bottom of the page, and this is where she's talking about how Hiram and her, that's where she dares Hiram to cut her hair. And she says, I swatted at him with the braid, yelling, I'm showing Ma, and ran. So swatted, So a synonym for that, or a general definition, I'm actually going to use these, they're going to be similar, is hit. Like hit with force, right? And you can even steal this definition. A synonym would be hit. Antonym means what's the opposite of swatted? And you're like, I don't know. Well, let's take a look at our synonym. If the word that means the same means hit, what is the opposite of hitting something? Miss, right? So when you're doing the antonym, if you don't get too stuck on it, just kind of think a little bit. What would be sort of the opposite? You can use the actual word, you can use the definition, you can use the synonym, anything you can, and then figure out the opposite. So basically it means like you hit. And she took the braid and went like, and hit him like that. So, and as you all know, I'm like an amazing artist. 2, 3, 4, 5, as I'm not. Okay. So this is someone getting hit in the face. Isn't this great? And they're kind of angry. See? See, someone like went like this to them. Look, someone like this. Right? And then here's part of their mouth. They're going, ow! Okay, that's the picture. So I did swatted. You need to do 5 more. And that's it. Thank you so much for paying attention. I know this was a longer lesson, but it was something that we needed to do. And it was really fun. I hope you're enjoying the book, maybe. This is your assignment for Monday. Remember, finish that next section and do the vocabulary activity. Happy Friday. Bye.